Hi, I'm Olivia from Going with Springfield. I'm here today with Dreadful Rumor. We're at Hatch Artist Studios and we're going to talk about their debut album that's going to be released on June 20th. It's called From Rags to Ditches, and they're going to be having their album release show at the State Theater on June 22nd. So we're going to talk about that today and how it all relates to Springfield, the beginning of their band, and everything like that. So Eric, tell me a little bit about your role in the band and how that relates to your time growing up in Springfield.
Alright, so while I was young, growing up here in Springfield, and obviously Springfield's come a long way from where it used to be, but when I was young, it wasn't necessarily a bustling metropolitan kind of area, and I think that really shaped my upbringing, and I was sort of, artistically inclined, and I put a lot of those experiences in the songs that are on the album, and I never really thought that I could write a song, but I was lucky enough to have a good friend who I played guitar, and he wanted to start a band with me, and I sort of started writing about my experiences with growing up and my friends, and my friends were, I was always my dad's a teacher at Springfield High, and I was lucky enough to grow up in a pretty good house, but a lot of my friends didn't have that luxury, so I just really wrote about those experiences on the album, and I eventually went on to form this band, and we played our first show ever at the talent show at the Upper Valley Mall, actually. Yeah, back in 2017, I think it was.
So I have Alex here, and Alex, do you think that you'd be able to tell me a little bit about some shows that you've played in Springfield before? I know you played your first show at the Upper Valley Mall, but some other shows you might have played around the area?
We've played at the Cohatch before. We've played at some bars around the Springfield area, not just straight up in downtown. I think our first real show, actually, as a whole cohesive unit in Springfield, really would come from our time kind of playing some of the Vandal Resort shows, which are thrown on by a good friend of ours. And I think those have kind of really cemented this artistic feel in Springfield too. And I mean, just seeing where things have evolved and playing at multiple places around here has really kind of given a lot of inspiration to the work we do with this music and with this album, where a lot of things have come from. My other band, Redcap Society, has played at the State Theater too, and so with our album release coming up at the State Theater, it's been a really great experience to play there. I was super stoked to be able to have our album release played at the State Theater, for us to be able to be there playing that, and because that's really been a new community meeting point for everybody here. I just think it's exciting to finally get this nice newer venue, or this returned venue, kind of into the limelight, and I'm glad we have a chance to do that with them.
So Tyler, tell me what it's been like as the frontman of Dreadful Rumor.
It's been a lot of fun. I've been very rewarded with the opportunity to bring a very bombastic, a very lively energy to the set. I'm very inspired by front men like Gerard Way from MCR to Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, and I like to channel their energies into putting on the best live set I possibly can.
So Zach, you're the newest addition to Dreadful Rumor. Can you tell me a little bit about how that's been for you?
I feel like just being around the guys and getting to know them, and especially with being brothers with one of the members, I felt very, very comfortable making the transition into the band. And so that while it was a difficult experience, it was a huge growth for me, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and it opened up my eyes to being a better musician and a better drummer.
So your album release show at the State, can you tell me a little bit about why it being in Springfield kind of feels special for you, considering how the album started?
It's not a concept album, but it kind of is. It kind of chronicles in some sense my journey, kind of going from a early teens into like young adulthood. And when you do that in a town as special as Springfield, like Springfield, in my opinion, is gonna like leave its mark on you, and so it has left its mark on that music. And so to be able to, you know, I was lucky enough to like meet Brian and the other owners of the State Theater, and I like begged him. I was like, you have to let us do this here. Like, it just makes too much sense, you know? And luckily, they said, sure, you guys can do your release show here. And I'm really excited for it because I think it's gonna be a great show. I think it's gonna be the best show we've ever done. I think there's going to be a lot of the people who have supported us all the way from our first show that I mentioned at the Upper Valley Mall all the way through the years are going to be there to support us, and it's going to be a great event, and we have a really great show planned.
Big thanks to Dreadful Rumor for talking to us today. Be sure to check out their debut album, available on all platforms, on June 20th. And be sure to go to their show at the State Theater on June 22nd, and I'll see you there.